How you doing, Montell?
I'm fantastic, man. I'm great for a Sunday. I'm quarantined away with my family in Atlanta. I did slip away to church for a couple of hours this morning to go and I help lead worship over there. And then I'm back at home now, man.
How are you doing that during this coronavirus? How are you leading worship at your church?
Oh, well, I haven't done it much. And prior, I think for the past 4 months, guys, really, we had been in a really quarantine state where I would go over to the church, everybody's social distanced, masked up and everything. We would take kind of a real spaced out stages and we would record the music for the weekends midweek. So we would be there on a Tuesday or Wednesday. We record the 15-minute set or whatever, and then we all leave and come home, and then they would run the services on the weekend because no one was meeting in buildings at the time.
Got it. Makes sense. What inspired you to transition from music into the ministry?
I was brought up in ministry, so really it was a transition back. So as a kid, I was a childhood musician where I was in church, anytime the church doors were open up until the time I was probably 14 or 15 years old. So that was just imparted into me from childhood. I was played piano and organ and choir directed and sang and did all of those things. And so when I finally, and I heard all the time, you're going to be in ministry one day. And I was like, no, I don't think so. There are other things I'd rather do than give my life to God. And so I really needed to I wanted to find my own path or whatever. So I went off, man, and somehow got that record deal and took the craziest path of life and marriage and success and fame and literally realized through that entire journey that it was counterfeit. Everything, it was a counterfeit lifestyle. The money was counterfeit. The accolades, the fame, everything was really counterfeit. And so when I finally had the opportunity to step away and really kind of find myself, to be able to understand, who I am outside of music, because if you live in a counterfeit lifestyle, dude, you don't really know what's real anymore. You think that cars, and this doesn't just happen for famous people. This is just for regular people. If you live in a counterfeit lifestyle, you can lose who you are. And so I had to find out outside of music who I was again. And I found out that outside of music, outside of picking up a microphone, that I was a son and I was a father, I was a husband, I'm a friend, I'm a giver. Like I had to know all of those things that helped me determine, that music doesn't make me, I make music. And so that was kind of my journey from music into ministry, but really it was a journey from ministry into music
and then
back into
deep. That's deep.
That's very deep. I like that.
It's Sunday. I didn't mean to go.
No, it's all good, man.
No, we love deep. I just got to put my water wings on when we get deep because I'm usually shallow water.
So being in the ministry now, you don't regret any of the decisions you made to go into music or any of the things you sung, anything like that? You don't regret any of that, do you?
Well, I mean, I was nasty, so we can always regret being nasty. There are things that I sung that I don't sing anymore. There are things that I did to people that I love that I would regret doing. Although the realness of it is I wouldn't change a thing because everything that I did brought me to where I am now. But literally, there was still some carnage along the way that if I could have avoided taking my wife through some of that stuff or avoided some of the perilous stuff that I got involved in, I would have done some things differently, not even for myself, but for some of the other folks that, got caused, a lot of damage along the way.
That you affected.